Hi leaders, thanks so much for watching the Connect video for this week. We are starting off February learning about David and Goliath. So our Bible passage is from 1 Samuel 16 and 17. Our Bible verse has changed as well. It is, Jesus answered, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. If you really know me, you will know my Father as well. From now on, you do know him and have seen me. That's John 14, 6 through 7. So get the kids to learn that this month. They'll have that all through February. So get them to learn that. Now, to get them ready for the anticipate before the story time, we're going to be playing a little game of table hockey. So between each three kids, you will have little smooth stones, and you'll just set them up in like a triangular formation on a table, and you'll just separate the kids into groups of 2. So what we will be doing is playing a form of table hockey. Your stones will be much smaller than this too, and they're all supplied for you. So, Ben, if you can come over and show them how we do this. So you'll have one of your kids hold up their fingers like this, kind of like a little goal, and they'll just set it at the end of the table. And then your other person, whose turn it is, gets to flick the stones. So go ahead, Ben, flick the stones, see if you can make a goal. So they just flick all 3 of the stones. And then that person who just flicked the stone, so it almost made it all the way in the goal. So the person that just flicked that stone, now they make theirs. They'll be on the other side of the table, and they'll put their hands in the goal formation, and then I'll be able to flick it right back at them. Ooh, that would have been a goal too, Ben. Too bad you didn't have your hands on. So that's what we'll be playing. It's okay. That's what we'll be playing for the first part, and then we'll break into... Okay, no more practicing. Thank you. And we will play that at the beginning, and then we'll go right into the story time. If you're the storyteller this week, you do have a video available, so you can do that as well. And then the curriculum also has a great way to tell the story of David and Goliath. It has a lot of props and things such as that. So if you're interested in telling the story and you want to use some props, make sure to let me know, and I'll make sure that we can get the props to you. Or you can just tell the story using the video, or you can tell it another way, or gather your own things, however you want to do it, whatever's more comfortable for you. But if you are wanting props from the church or something like that, you're just going to have to let us know as soon as possible so we can help you get that. So you'll just be, again, telling the story of how David was sent down to bring food to the battlefield, to bring food to his brothers, and he saw that all of God's children, his people, were being threatened and laughed out by this big, huge, giant Goliath. And then God just gave David so much courage, even though he was just a young boy, gave him a lot of courage and told him that he would be able to fight him. So he went to King Saul and he said, I'd like to have a chance to fight Goliath. And then read your Bible and find out what happens. I'm sure all of you have heard the story before, but go ahead and read in 1 Samuel 16 and 17 and find out what happens on that. After you do the story, you will go right to the worship, and you will sing the songs. Now, I have 5 songs on the DVD this month. So obviously you're not going to have time to play all 5 each week, but I just wanted you to have opportunity to pray about that if you're the worship leader, and decide which songs work best for you for which week. And definitely the first week, the Ready to Rock song is definitely a great song to play. It's all about David and Goliath, and it's really fun, and the kids like it. We did play it at a VBS before, so most of the kids will already know the song. So it is a really fun one. The problem with that one is that we had to play the music separate from the PowerPoint. It's not all on one. So you'll definitely need some help with somebody running your PowerPoint slide as the music is played too. So you'll have to start the music and then push the PowerPoint on as well, and do both of those things. So you can do any of your worship songs, and then you'll go right into your blessing, which is from Psalm 44, 6 through 8. I put no trust in my bow. My sword does not bring me victory. But you give us victory over our enemies. You put our adversaries to shame. In God we make our boast all day long, and we will praise your name forever. May you trust in nothing but God to give you victory in your life. May he be victorious in your heart and give you peace and joy. So we're going to be teaching the kids that even though they're young, even though they are little and some of their problems seem so big, with God they can be victorious as well. So then we'll finish up with the songs and that blessing, and then you'll go back to your room after story time. And you will you'll go over your reflect questions. And there, you can either just go over your reflect questions, just ask the kids, have a little discussion, or you can use your human tic-tac-toe game in conjunction with the reflect questions, and then you might want to come up with some more questions on your own too. You could do a little bit more review of what we've done last week, or ask some more questions about the story that they learned today. So the human tic-tac-toe game, you will have masking tape in your room so that you may make a big human tic-tac-toe grid on your floor. So if you're at the early service or the Saturday night service, go ahead and make that tic-tac-toe grid, and you can just leave that up for the second service for them to use as well. So you may want to come in a little bit earlier. If you're at the 9:30 service, probably come at 9:10. Give yourself about 5 minutes so that you can be prepared to welcome the kids as they come in. And you'll just make a big, huge grid for the tic-tac-toe. You'll also have construction paper that you can just ask the kids, what are some of the things that you struggle with on a day-to-day basis, and then you'll just write down some of their answers. So you may have something, your parents fighting, trouble with school, bullies at school, maybe math is really hard for you, just other things that you have struggles with, and you'll place those on the paper. So you'll need the kids to help you figure out 9 things that they struggle with, and you'll put each paper square in each of the boxes on the grid, in your tic-tac-toe grid. Then this is where you can use your reflect questions if you'd like to. Then you'll just separate your class into 2 groups. One will be X's and one will be O's, and they will each have big pieces of paper that say X and O. And as they answer the questions, or if you just want to call on kids who are maybe sitting and being really well behaved, however you want to do it, whatever works best for you, you can call on the kids and have them take a turn, whether they're the X's or the O's, and hand them the piece of paper, and then they get to go figure out where they're going to stand in the squares, or in the rectangle squares, for their tic-tac-toe grid. So when they choose where they're going to stand, they'll look down at the piece of paper, and if, for instance, it says something like feeling left out at school, they'll pick up the paper and they'll say, God is victorious. He can help me to not feel left out at school. And then they'll take the paper, they'll move it out of the way, and then they will stand and they will hold up their X or their O in their square. And the goal is for the team, obviously, to make a tic-tac-toe. So you'll continue to play until somebody wins. You can continue to play even longer than that if you'd like to as well. If you have extra time in the class at the end, this week would be a great time for you to go over that memory verse and get them started on that so they can earn their points or their candies or their prizes, whatever they get for learning that memory verse. And then you'll also have time for Bible work, which will be 2 Samuel 2, 5 through 7, which we'll be learning about next week. And it's about King David. So thank you so very much for watching this Weekly Connect. And we're just so grateful for everything that you do for us each week. And we just thank you. And if you have any questions, go ahead and call me. If you have any special prayer requests, let your campus supervisor know. We'd love to pray for you. Thanks so much.